Recording in progress. Oh, are we doing all from the beginning?
In the Pop Culture Cupid podcast, we talk about how pop culture influences our expectations in relationships. I'm Alison, love coach, here to help you single people find your way back to love.
Healthy communication. I'm Michelle. I help singles embrace themselves and their singleness, as well as develop a healthy self-relationship. We bring some juicy stories from our own love lives and dating, and it gets pretty interesting. Be focused, we're going to be to the point, and no digressing.
Self-awareness. Follow, share, subscribe, enjoy.
And like and comment.
If it's shockingly bad, we just re-record another one.
Yeah. No, I think there's some good stuff that you can just nitpick.
Hey, Editing Alison. You'll see this version of me several times in the next few episodes, only because, just to remind you, these episodes have been recorded before we started posting, so something in the chronology may seem off. We're aware. Thank you for your patience. It is just topics that we pick up from pop culture. You don't need to have consumed anything that we're talking about. It's just listening and enjoying and chatting. So thank you and see you soon.
Recording in progress. Hello.
Hi. I think that when we record our new jingle, I'm gonna integrate you saying recording in progress in the jingle. It has to. I think in the new jingle we have to have Michelle saying recording in progress, and self-awareness. Like those have to be part of our jingle.
Awareness. Yeah. We've got our shticks already.
So. Exactly. We've got our, the first jingle was, we were trying to make something, and now we've gotten into a rhythm, and they have to show up, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. So
what's going on? So we just recorded 2 episodes about random. I feel like I'm going to watch more Love is Blind episodes, and then we'll probably post the Love is Blind centric episodes first, and then these ones later. So we'll see how that goes. But we've just recorded some couple of topics, and we've got more topics to talk about. And I think the first one is finances in relationships, because it was a subject, like in this first episode, where one of the girls was saying that she doesn't really want to share 50-50 and she's high maintenance.
Yeah.
And there was some of that in the British Love is Blind as well, where one couple didn't work out because he didn't want to pay for her for everything. Actually, 2 didn't really work out. Sorry if I'm spoiling you.
No worries.
But there are some of sorry. Oh,
it's okay. No. I like spoilers. It's okay.
But it is a subject. So I think let's go into that, because in the last episodes we were talking about passwords and how that's not a topic you want to talk about. Like, it's not that deep. However,
finance is critical. That shit is real.
How is it? So we're, for people who don't really know, we're from 2 completely different sides of the world.
Mediterranean. We're on the 2 different sides of the Mediterranean. Yeah.
And so I know very well what it's like in France and England. I think everybody kind of knows what it's like in America. But our listenership is kind of all over the world. So I'm going to say what it's like in France, and then you can say what it's like in Israel, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah.
So in France and England, so traditionally, up till, 20, 30, maybe 40 years ago, the man worked and paid for everything.
Yep.
And then, female rights, and, the 60s and 70s, and Jesus, that was not 40 years ago, that was 60 years ago. Wow. The 60s were 60 years ago. Jesus. Yeah. Anyway.
The 60s were 60 years ago, yes.
Anyway.
The math ain't mathing somehow.
The math ain't mathing. And I think,
And then, women went to work more, and the mathing. The women went to work more, and so started paying their way. And so it's become more a cultural norm for women to go 50-50 when it comes to once you guys are living together. However,
Yeah.
when it comes to dating and when it comes to like the prequel to a relationship, it's still kind of expected for the man to
Yeah.
pay for the dates, pay for gifts and things. Like JT's brought me flowers, so we're not dating anymore. We've got a bloody child on the way.
Yeah.
But these types of things are very nice and very surprising. But they are kind of what's expected of men, which is horrible to say, but let's be truthful. This is,
Yeah.
in France, we we want to share, but men are expected to front a little bit more.
Yeah.
Same in England. And I would add that most men feel a bit intimidated if women earn more than they do.
Yeah, I think that's universal. But then, yeah, I think it's very similar here to the sense of like women definitely expect men to pay on the first, second, maybe even third date. And I think we had an episode about this, so we went into that, and we're not gonna, digress into it right now. But I think that's sort of kind of sense of something that happens everywhere. And then it's sort of like, I mean, as you progress, I guess it goes more 50-50. And then maybe once you're married and living together and managing your finances together, it's more of like percentage wise. So if like the man is making 30% more than the woman, then he might pay like 70% and she might pay, or whatever the math works out to be. Like he would pay according to the percentage. You cannot live in Israel and rely, unless someone's like stinking rich, you cannot rely on one income over here anyway. It's just near impossible because it's really expensive. Um, so yeah, but I kind of feel like I'm digressing.
Yeah, so there's an expectation. So it's similar. I think that in Israel, it's similar to what I just said. Of at the beginning, there's an
yeah,
expectation
there's
for men to
definitely an
front, but then
expectation.
what you said about being proportionate to income, uh, also because I have a JT and I have a very similar income.
Yeah,
We have a very similar average overall income, and then sometimes he'll earn, because he's in sales, so he'll sometimes just
yeah,
get like a huge bonus that doesn't really change our day to day. So he'll be happy to just buy something for the flat and everything, and that's kind of, so we're kind of 50-50.
yeah,
I've got a couple, like a friend who's married, and he earns quite significantly more than she does. And they talked about it and things like that. And she felt that it was unfair that they went 50-50 because his expectations for living were way higher than hers. But then she didn't want to front all of her money for rent on a
yeah,
flat that he could afford. And then he would say, fine, but I'm working really hard to earn more money. I want to have more of my income for my personal shit, because he's into gaming, he's into these things that she's not necessarily into, or he'll want to be spending a bit more money on things that she doesn't want to. She's not going to stop him from spending money, but he wants to have more disposable
yeah,
income. And so he's like, but you're in this place as much as I am. So I agree that it shouldn't be 50-50 because I can afford more, but I don't agree that it should be proportionate. And
hmm
it's a very so I'm just gonna, you know, kind of preamble this of just saying you and I are not financial experts. Like this
no,
isn't this isn't, we would tend to
Financial
advise,
advice. This is more.
Listen to Stephen Bartlett's podcast of Diaries of a CEO, because he does have like lots of people talking about finance, like suggesting different things about how the person with less income can protect him or herself. Those are very interesting. This isn't that. This is just talking about how we feel about it, how it works for us, what we expect, and things like that, and how to talk about it. Because
in a relationship dynamic, and there's a lot of